Hey crafty family, it's me. Today we are going to do something fun. Some of you who have been to my live streams and watched some of my videos. Why is my chair stuck? Oh, okay, well apparently my chair is stuck. Good way to start a video. Yay. Anyway, there we go. Some of you who watch my videos may have heard me talk about Tim Holtz' new stuff that he's got coming out. And I don't know, for some reason recently I've been obsessed with words. I don't know why. And he has got something coming out called quote chips. And basically they're plastic chips that have words on them that you can make quotes with them. And I was like, oh, I want them so bad. And of course, I don't have no money. So I decided to make them myself. And I'm going to show you how. Now I have no idea if other people have made these. I just thought of it and said, oh, I'll make it, but I'm sure that I didn't look on YouTube. I didn't pay attention. So I can't say for sure this is my idea because I'm sure it's not. Almost 100% positive. But this is my interpretation of the Tim Holtz quote chips. Of course, mine are much more handmade and organic, and his are, you know, mass produced and all that stuff. And his are great, and I would love to have them, but since I can't afford it, I've made my own, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So here they are. They're not perfect. They're crooked. They're just lovely, and I love them. And let me make sure that they're in camera view. I can come in a little bit. And this way you can see. Okay. I sit in a metal chair, so it makes these squeaky noises. I got a pillow on it, so it's comfortable, but that's what I sit on. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to show you how to do, and it's very easy and it's a lot of fun. All you'll need is some clay. You can use any color you want. I'm using white. Actually, I might mix up some other colors. So you can use polymer clay like Fimo or Sculpey, or you can use air dry clay like this. I'm not going to open this one because I do have an air dry clay that's open. I just need to find it. It's downstairs in my basement somewhere, and I'm going to find that so I can use that as well. I just got this out as an example. You can also make your own bread dough clay, make some cold porcelain clay. Any kind of clay you want, you can make, and you can either make or buy or whatever you want to do. But like I said, I'm just going to use some Fimo, and I might mix a little bit of purple in, so it'll be like a light purple, and I might do a pink. Also, you're going to need letter stamps, or word stamps if you want to do whole words, but I got these little letter stamps. They were $1 at they're Studio G, so I think they're Walmart. They have different ones, different fonts, different sizes. I've got like 2 of them, and I like these. These are the smallest one I have. But you can also do bigger letters. Like I have sets of these letters. You can do those like clear stamps. They're a little bigger. So you can do bigger ones, little ones. I've also got these. Like maybe I'll make a couple of these. So I'll keep those out just in case. So yeah, you can use whatever you got. And you also need ink, and I recommend, instead, I tried it with StazOn and I didn't like the way it didn't give as good of an ink impression. I like the VersaFine better, or like probably any dye ink. So I think this is, or pigment ink, because pigment ink is nice and rich in color. So I would use a pigment ink. I'll try a dye ink and see if it'll work, but the StazOn and the I didn't try the archival, so maybe we'll like experiment. I know the StazOn gave like a black kind of, like it didn't color it as well. So we'll try a couple different inks and see what works. This way you know, in case you don't have specifically VersaFine ink. And what's nice is when you bake the clay, you know how VersaFine ink is like stays wet a long time? Well, when you bake the clay, it will bake the ink right into it, so it's permanent, and then makes life easier. So I'm going to take a piece of clay, and of course, whoa, I'm sure you know you have to condition your clay. I'm only going to take a little chunk of this. Well, you know what, I'll take the bigger chunk and I'll show you the white and you got to condition it, and it's hard for me. I have arthritis, so it'll take me a minute. So I might fast forward through this so you don't have to live with it. Even though it says that it's a soft clay, yeah, as you see, it's not really that soft, and I might have an easier time doing it with this a little bit. I don't know. I need one of those pasta rollers, or they have the one that's specifically for clay, because my arthritis hates me. It hates me. It hates me. So I have a lot of trouble. And this clay is like, I don't know whether it's old or what, but we may have to get out a different clay. Because I have some of the other kind. This is Sculpey and it's real soft. This one for some reason is brand new in the package, but it's not happy. I don't know, can you wet polymer clay? Wow, this is really hard. I've had it for a while, but I didn't expect it to be so hard. I'm hoping I'll soften it up a little bit. Otherwise, I'm switching to a different clay. This is like really extra hard. Does anybody else have this problem with Fimo clay? I think this is the only Fimo I ever bought. Because usually I buy Sculpey, but I think the Fimo was on sale. My voice is so hoarse for some reason. Don't know why. So I'm not sure what its problem is. I've never had this problem with Sculpey clay. No matter how long I leave it sit, it always stays nice and soft. But this stuff, which claims to be soft, is definitely not soft. So if you have arthritis, I wouldn't get the Fimo clay. Stick with Sculpey. Because this is nuts. I mean, it's so hard, I can't even push through it. Good Lord. Yeah, this will be the last time I get this stuff. And I bought it like, you know, probably like well over a year ago, but still, I have Sculpey clay in there that's probably 6 years old, and it's perfect. So I'm not really sure why this is giving me so much angst right now. But I do wish I had a pasta machine about now. Jeez. I don't think I'm going to be able to mix any colors with this one. I'll use the Sculpey. Because this too is Sculpey and it's nice and soft. And it was sitting out. It wasn't, like both of these clays were sitting out with no packaging on them or nothing. Let's fight with clay, shall we? Can you wet this stuff? Will it help it if I wet it? Come on, package, so I can read you. Doesn't say. I've just never had this problem. It's like almost crumbly. Wow, this really makes me mad because I spent money on this in hopes to use it, and it really kind of pisses me off that it's Fimo can suck it. Because that's really crappy that it's like that, because, you know, it ain't cheap to buy polymer clay. So I will never buy Fimo again. So there you go. Because I know that I bought this probably within a month of buying the Sculpey, and the Sculpey is nice and soft. So I didn't buy them like, you know, really far apart. If anything, the Fimo's newer than the Sculpey. You know what I mean? It's kind of getting soft, but wow. I bought it specifically because it said soft, because I wanted it for my arthritis. And the Sculpey is way softer. Well, anyway, I'm just going to do the best I can. Sorry, I don't mean to bitch and complain, but that just kind of makes me mad. Anybody else have that problem? Let me know in the comments if you've ever bought Fimo and what you thought of it. So anyway, I got it into a ball. It's dirty because my hands are dirty, but that's okay. I don't really care at this point. I just want to get this flattened out enough. I mean, like, I'm pushing so hard on this, it's insanity. And I have no idea if when I bake it how it's gonna act, since it's like weird. But anyway, I roll it out to like, I don't know, use your judgment how thin you want it. So I have this about that thin. It's thinner in some places and thicker than the other. That's okay. It's supposed to be organic. So then you're going to take your VersaFine and you're going to take your little letters and you're going to, you know, figure out what you want to do. Let's see. I want to do... Let's do laughter. L A. Oh, that's nice. U G H. Come on, quit. T E and then R. And I usually keep it so that the end where you can see what it is right in front of me. And then I just take it and I put some ink on it and I press, but I don't push it in too far because you get a better impression. If you push it in really far, I'll show you what happens. Like here's the L. If you push it in too far, see how it spreads it out and it doesn't look as nice? I hope you could see that. So don't push it in real far. Just push it in slightly. You don't need to push it in a lot. L. And then you line it up. Now you can't tell, but I'm kind of looking sideways at it. And I can kind of see. And with a very little practice, like it literally took me no time. This is the first one I did. Okay, and you see it's a little messy. And literally this is the second one I did. That's how much practice I needed, was just 2. And I got, you know, fairly good at it. And I don't care if they're not completely lined up, if they're a little off, like I don't really care. I just look like at a side view kind of, and I do the best I can. And I don't fuss over it. You just press ever so slightly. And the nice thing about this VersaFine is it's like perfect. Because I had to go back over the laugh. I first did it with the archival, Stays On, and it didn't show up well, so I had to go back over it with the VersaFine. So there's laughter. Now I usually put a couple of words in one and then I cut them out, and I'll show you how to do that too. Let's see, what else do I want to do? Laughter. Oh, let's do friendship. I haven't even done that word yet. Oh, I'm itchy today. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I'm all kinds of discombobulated. Where's my F? Here it is. F. F. R. I. Where's my eye? I lost my eye. I'm blind. I lost my eye. There it is. I. E. You almost want to barely make an impression. I mean, you are making an impression in the clay, but you just want to make a slight impression, because any more than that is going to distort your letters. And where's my D? Where's my D? There it is. But it works pretty quick, like it goes by quickly, and you can make, I made all these letters that I made before in a very short period of time. So it does not take long to get some, you know, results, which I like. I'm an instant gratification type of person. So I like anything that moves quickly. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. P. And so what you can do is, if you have a good way to get some words is, if you have any quote stickers, look on those and it'll give you ideas on what to do. You know, like if you've got some quote stickers, or look up some quote stickers or quotes, and you can, you know, you can totally just make a whole mess of these, which I plan on doing. I'm going to do cherish too. C-H-E-R-I-S-H, is that right? I can't spell. Oops, getting a little close to the friendship there. Got to be careful. It'll be fine. C-H-E-R I S H. Like, you see how shallow these stamps are? Like the letter is just barely raised. You don't ever want to push down so hard that you're pushing to where the, you know what I mean, the clay is hitting the surface around the stamped part, because then you're pushing way too, like you barely want to push. Practice. Do a couple practice, you know, ones. Cherish. I could probably fit another word. How about how about just hello? H. And these would be great little embellishments. E. L. Or just hell. Hell with it. I might be able to fit one more up there. How about just another one that says love? We'll make it easy. I use love a lot anyway. Where's the E? Where's my E? There it is. There we go. Now, I'm not going to cut it on this mat. I shouldn't have even started it on this mat. I had this mat out for something else I was doing. Because when you go to cut it, which I just knocked all my letters over, but that's okay, you're going to need a razor blade. I can't find my clay razor blade. I think it's downstairs with the clay. So I use this, and I just, like, it's usually better when it's stuck to the thing. It's not stuck to the glass. Let me push it down over here. Maybe that'll hold it enough. So I just go through and cut . Maybe better off cutting from this side. Sometimes it's better just to chop. Just go chop. If I would have been stamping it on the glass when I was doing it, it would have pushed it down. Let me get it off on the edge here. There we go. Because the razor blade doesn't ever hit flat unless I get it on the edge. There's hello. And now I'm even going to wipe this one off because the ink stays wet. So you want to be careful too, because look how easy I wiped that ink off, and I did that. That was the first one I did. So what you want to do is not touch the ink because it will be wet and it will stay wet. And before you touch the tiles, make sure you have any ink off your fingers too. So, and what I do, since I don't have my actual razor that goes underneath, I use this and I can do that. So that's an alternative. If you have one of these type of razors, it'll flex. You just want to be careful not to cut yourself. And there's Cherish, which I've got a little mark on there. A little clay crumb curled up on my H. There's Cherish. This crappy Fimo clay. And then here's Love. I advise you to do a whole bunch and then bake them. Instead of baking them like, oh, just do 5 and then bake them. I wouldn't do that. It'll be a pain in the butt. I'm going to trim a little bit more off of this one. It helps if it's stuck to the glass, actually. And there you go. I mean, they come out really cool and they're very easy to do. And then you would bake them just like you would your clay. You know, I think it's like 15 minutes at 275 degrees or something. Alright, I'm going to put that Fimo clay aside because, yeah, yuck. No bueno. And then we're going to do one. I'll show you how to mix a color. I'm not going to mix the pink because I don't even want to bother trying to condition that. So I'm going to mix some purple. And I don't want it really dark, so I'm just going to add a little bits of purple in until it gets to the color I want. But apparently I need to go buy some white clay because if I want polymer clay, I have to get some, and I don't have any money. So I guess I'm not getting clay. Whatever. Because I have like 4 of those packages of Fimo clay. And I'm just like, great! That's useless. I don't know how to soften it. I'm going to have to look online to see if there's a way to soften it because I've never, and just never buy Fimo again. So I can leave it like all marbled looking, or I can just keep conditioning it, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just making it a weird kind of light purple color. I really wanted to do a pink. I'm going to have to get myself some more clay somehow. I mean, I could paint it. That's not the big deal. And if you were going to paint it, you would paint it first and then stamp into it. So you paint it, let the paint dry, and then you could stamp into it. And believe it or not, that works. Because I've stamped into painted clay before. That was not cooked. With regulars, because you can use regular stamps. You don't have to use letters. If you want a butterfly, ink up a butterfly and put it in there. You know what I mean? This is how you make clay tiles. And I've made those too. But I never done the words like this. Other people I'm sure have, but I haven't. I'm late to the party on that one. Okay, where's my roly-poly? What did I do with the rolling pin? Oh, it's hiding. This is a dollar store rolling pin. It's plastic. I use it for clay. I had a clay roller, but again, don't know where it is. That might be too thin. I'm going to re-roll that. That might be too thin. I was getting a little overzealous rolling that out because this is a little piece. It's not very big, so it's not going to fit any more than a couple words. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to do a couple words. Let's see. What words do we want to do now that I've made a big mess? You know what? Let me get my word stickers and we can look and see what there is. Let's see. See, I've got these by Tim Holtz. Small Talk. We've got Easter and happiness. There's a word. See, you can get inspiration from anywhere. Let's do happiness. See, I pushed a little too hard on that one because this clay is super soft. So you just got to be careful. You got to test it out and see. Now that I knocked all my letters over, I don't know where my A is. There it is. So that's okay. See, that's better. J. Where's my P? P, P, P. I lost my P. What did I do with it? Spend the whole video looking for letters. Driving everybody nuts. Seriously. Oh. Nope. That's a bracket. There it is. It was hiding. JP. P. I. Ooh, I may not be able to fit it. We'll try. Oh, well that's a little close. It's okay. Where's the N? Because NESS is going to be quite large. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Well, if it does, I will just wipe it off. Start over. Yeah, it's not going to work. I can tell you that right now. Shush. Okay, so if you make a mistake and you realize you're not going to make it, just start rubbing at it and it'll come off. Especially if you're using VersaFine ink, you can salvage it. And then if you just mix it in, you won't notice it. Like if there's a haze of color. So then you just pick up your clay and you go, whoops! And you remix it. So we'll try that again. It happens. It happens. Okay. See? There's always a way to fix it. And then if it's stuck. You might go for a shorter letter. Because I don't know if happiness is going to work on such a small. Let's do. Let's put create joy. I bet you that'll fit just fine. I'd break out more clay, but for the video's sake, I'm just going to do a small piece because you get the point. Because I want to move on and show you what's next after you bake. And it's already 30 minutes long video. C-R-E. A. P. And E. And I love how with the VersaFine you barely have to tap on it and you get like loads and loads, look, of ink. You get a lot of ink. That's what I like about that. Create joy. And we can leave this one as all one tile. We do not have to break it up into two. Since we're just going to leave it as create joy, we can just cut it so that it says create joy and not split up the words. So you could do that too. It's a little harder to line it up, but it's definitely doable. Missing the Y. Where is it? Why, oh why are we missing the Y? There it is. It's hiding. See, it almost touches the other one, but that's okay. You can see what it says and see, now that it's stuck to the glass better, it's much easier to cut. You know what I mean? And there's that one. Create joy. And you get these cute little tiles that you can, you know, and if it's messed up you can push at it a little bit, but what I prefer to do is really not mess with it too much like this because you don't want to distort your letters. But when it comes out of the oven you can sand it, and I'll show you that in a second. So once you've got all your letters and all your, all your quotes and your words and all that good stuff, you're gonna obviously go and bake it. And then when you're done baking it, what you're going to have left are, now these are baked tiles that have not been coated with anything, because the ones I showed you initially, if you notice, they've got a shine to them because they have been coated. But what you can do is, after you get them, you could take a sanding block, sandpaper, whatever, and you can go over all the edges. And you can kind of sand it. You can even go onto the front of it if it looks a little lumpy. And then it's still fine because the ink is kind of impressed into it. So if you go over lightly over the top, it's going to be fine. And you can just sand them. And if they're really thin, you just want to be careful they don't snap. But you can sand them to make them just a little bit neaterized. But you don't have to. I have some that are sanded and some that aren't. Because why not? They don't need to be perfect. They're supposed to look, you know, homemade. I kind of like them like that. So you do that, and when you're all done, what you do is, now I'm using the Sculpey gloss glaze, you don't have to use this. I just have this and I like it. If you can use any kind of varnish, glaze, you can even use glossy accents or dimensional magic or triple thick. Like, in fact, I'll use some triple thick because I already used it, and I wouldn't put it on with the bottle, if that makes sense. Put it on with a brush because it'll go on smoother. If you just put it over top and dome it, you can, but they don't, I don't know, to me they wouldn't look the same. They'll look better to me and more like the tiles, like the Tim Holtz tiles, if you paint it on. So I'm just cleaning off my brush from before. And I would just put a little bit on my table. And, you know, I do like 1 or 2 coats. And just go, and, you know, if they're already baked, the ink is going to be dry. So you don't have to worry about that. I usually do sides and then I do the other sides after that's dry. The Sculpey stuff dries really fast. I don't know how fast this will dry, but I know the Sculpey dries pretty fast. Get over here. which is why I like to use it, because it dries fairly quickly. But it's a really fun way to make yourself your own word tiles and not have to spend the money. As much as I love Tim Holtz stuff, this is a really great alternative, and it only costs you the price of the clay. Most people have those cheapy word stamps. If you don't, you can go to Walmart and find them for $1. And everybody usually has some sort of glaze. And you don't even have to glaze them. If you like them the way they are when they come straight out of the oven, then there you go. You don't have to glaze them. You can put a coat of glossy Mod Podge over them. You know what I mean? You don't have to use anything special. And you don't have to do anything at all. You can paint them. If you're going to paint them because you want to stamp into the wet clay, or the, you know, the not baked clay, so you can paint over them with a thin or two coat, you know, 1 or 2 thin coats of paint before you stamp into them, and then you can bake them with the paint right on them. So that's an idea. Obviously, if you're using air dry clay, you're going to want to paint them the same way before they dry, obviously, and stamp, obviously, over top of that, and then just let them air dry. So, yeah, this is a great, fun thing to do. You can do it with the kids. You can do their names and glue that onto their backpack for school. You can use them as labels on your things, like, you know, if you've got, you know, if you don't have a label maker, you make these into labels and glue them to your containers or whatever you want to do. It's an alternative. So, yeah, I really like them. I'm addicted to them. I'm going to be making tons of them. They come out really nice and shiny, especially if you coat them. And, yeah, I'm in love, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, yeah, I was going to test out and show you how the, I'll do it on this crappy clay, because I don't care about it. It's making me mad. I was going to test the archival ink real quick, and I'll show you what the Stays On ink did too. Oh my god, this stuff is so hard. I'm just going to use this to flatten it. Like, it dented in the plastic container. That's how stupidly... Oh, you gotta be kidding. That's crazy. I'm just going to test out the inks. I haven't used the archival, so I'll test the archival. We'll do an E. You know what, let me wipe it off and make sure there was no of the other ink on there. Let's see how good the archival is. Archival's pretty good, yeah. Archival works. It was the Stays On that didn't want to work. Like, watch. Archival's pretty good. That's a good one to use. And this is not, you know, I've got ink in here, so I don't know why it was giving me a problem. See how much lighter it is? The definitely, you could tell that the VersaFine is the best. The VersaFine is the darkest, but I'll show you. Do you see how light? There's the archival, there's the Stays On. There's a difference. The Stays On's just so much lighter. I recommend the what else have I got? I've got this Hampton Art acid-free dye ink. Let's try that one. See if that makes a difference. See, that pad's weird because it's so bouncy that it gets stuck around, so I gotta be careful. Yeah, that's no good. No good. Yeah, that's the same as the Stays On, exactly. How about Distress ink? I've got the black soot. Clean this off real good. Let's try that one. Just testing out inks, what works best for impressions on clay. That's pretty good. That's close to Stays On. I mean, to VersaFine. So, black soot is a go. Good one. I think I have one more black one in here. This is something I got at the Hampton Art, and this one are ones that I got at the Creative Reuse. and they're still, you know, juicy. Yeah, this one's pretty good too. It's TPC Studios stuff. Pretty good. So, okay. So we know that the worst one is Stays On. Archival's okay, but Distress and Versafine is the best, and so is this TPC Clearly. I have no idea what that is. Never heard of that brand. So there are some options for you in case you have different inks, but test them out and try them. Take a test piece of clay, and so now I've got an E, and I'm sure it won't wipe off because some of it is permanent ink. So, oh, look at that. If you rub hard enough, anything wipes off, don't it? Huh, check that out. So, it did wipe off. Magic. It's like magic. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you're going to give it a try and show me your results. Like I said, don't press real hard. Just practice. Take a piece of clay and practice first so that you don't wreck, you know, your word or a bigger piece of clay or something. But you can rub it off. No matter what ink it is, it seems to rub right off. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this and have fun with it. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button to make sure that you're getting notifications of my live streams, my new videos, because you don't want to miss my live streams if you can possibly help it. They are so much fun. The live stream people that come in were called the Poodle Pack, and we have a blast. So, and also I have a GoFundMe account set up. Because right now I'm out of work due to my Crohn's disease. So if you're able to help, that's awesome. The link will be in the description. If not, if you can pass the link along on your social media, that would be amazing, and I'd really appreciate it. Any help that you can give is really awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you do what you love what you do, be nice to people, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!